What's up guys, and welcome to another episode of El Jardín Perdido. I was actually just doing a grafting video moments ago on a 6-in-1 apple tree, which you guys can check out. But while I was here, I had a little side project I wanted to accomplish, which is behind me it was a Joey avocado that got frozen down to the ground a year ago. We had a bad frost. But we have lots of shoots here coming out of the rootstock, which I intend on letting some of these grow out for more pollination, and also the fact that it's so cold hardy. But what I was going to do is top this seedling that I've planted from a Hass avocado seed. It may not be the best ideal Hass, but Hass are not very cold tolerant, so it's more of an experimental thing to just kind of see what I can get out of this. Maybe if it has a well-established rootstock, it can take off enough to be a little hardier for the next upcoming winters. But anyway guys, here we go. Alright, so real quick, things you'll need: some rubbing alcohol, pruners, grafting tape, have a Sharpie to label, a grafting knife, and that's about it. So seeing that I just grafted an apple tree, I am going to disinfect everything. I have a lav, but excuse me if the barrio dogs are going out of control right now. Alright, so right now I need to kind of size up what's going on here with both to be my scion, the seedling, and also the rootstock here. And seeing that I do want to keep the rootstock and let it grow, that's a factor in this too. What I'm first going to do is look at this seedling here. And ideally with avocados, they say you want to start with something that's just about to bud out. This has actually been in the greenhouse, so it hasn't had a dormant period. So it's not really giving me a hard bud per se. But what I can see is up here, we're getting a lot of growth just about to come up. What I'm gonna have to do though for this graft is take off all the leaves though. So, as painful as this might look, I have to top this, which the tree will be fine. There's plenty of growth left for it. But I'm just kind of eyeing things up and seeing how far I should take this. And to be honest, this is kind of weak up here, and I'm wondering if I should be taking it down to one of these buds down here. Okay, I'm gonna evaluate a little better by taking off these leaves as close as I can, so I can get a better visual of what I'm working with here. Yeah, that's a little better. So part of me almost wants to do two grafts. One where I'm using this kind of iffy piece on top, and one where I'm using a little more meaty piece from down below. But for now, I'm gonna go with this top piece. All right, not bad. And the diameter is about the same. The diameter can be smaller on your scion than the rootstock, but it can't be larger. Right here we look about the same, if not a little smaller. So let's grab some grafting tape here. I'm gonna go about halfway on this. It's usually a little more generous than I'd give it, but we'll see. Since growth should be coming out of the top here, I left it a little loose there on the top. There's a little bit of breathing room. I may put a tiny piece over that just to keep moisture in, but really I'm going to make sure that, yeah, no water's escaping, but I don't want to damage anything. Okay. So next what I'm going to do is clean up the rootstock down here. All right. And then kind of roughly size things up. And I'm going to top it just like that. So I'm going to clean up the rest of it real quick. Kind of sizing things up. Pan down for you guys a little bit. To be honest, with most grafts, I do not give it that much on top, but I think it'll be okay. But what I'm gonna do is start my clef on this and see how far down I can go without feeling like I'm going to damage the rootstock, because I have done that in the past where a side might get kind of flimsy when it's this young and tender. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. So what I'm doing, this is gonna be a cleft graft, so I'm going to just put pressure right on the middle, and then I'm gonna make a wedge here on the scion. Okay, so I feel comfortable with that. It's about 2.5, 3 inches. So we're gonna make our wedge here. To be honest, now that I'm kind of seeing how this will pan out, you really want the top to be smaller in length than the wedge, if not the same. Right now, that's all top, that's all wedge. So what I'm gonna do is just start taking it in from here. So I took off some of this tape here. That's a much better ratio right there. We're just gonna make a wedge. Okay, it's a nice, thin, flat wedge here. See the cambium layer to make contact with that. All right, now I'm gonna bring you guys in so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so in the midst of things, scion fell off there, but we just want that optimum contact Primarily on this side there'll be contact. There's a little bit here. Taking some of these buds off the rootstock because I don't need them pushing. Okay. So I'm going to tie off a little bit lower here. Slowly work my way up, tightening as I go up. Usually I would bring this all the way down here and tie it down here, so for a little added insurance, I'm just going to use some of the parafilm here to make sure there's no gaps. Okay, nice and tight. All right guys, so there you have it. This was kind of just a fun little project for me, to be honest. I have a lot more success rate with hardwood cuttings and hardwood grafting, such as stone fruits and apples and stuff, and pears, than I have with avocados and citrus. They tend to be a little more pliable, so there's more room for error. So hopefully everything's good here. Looks like really good contact. And I think in a few weeks, as we spring into spring, we should see some good growth here. All right guys, well, feel free to comment if you have any input on what I'm doing here. Also be sure to subscribe, as I will be doing update videos on some of these projects, and I do a lot of projects. Anyway guys, as always, thanks for tuning in. Until next time.